Hi guys, it's Mystique Marvel here, or MM is what I'm probably going to start calling myself. Just because Mystique Marvel is a bit of a mouthful and I can stumble on my words at the best of times. Ugh. Um, I mainly just wanted to do this channel. I mainly wanted to do this video to explain this channel, which is an online book of shadows of sorts. Like, I personally believe that a book of shadows is like a witch's journal or diary, and it keeps everything from knowledge, thoughts, emotions, perspectives, rituals that you've done. It really just is like a big collection or like a big diary. So I wanted to do an online version of this so that people that are on the online community have something to look at, and also so then people that actually like watching stuff actually have something to look at a bit more than reading. But if reading is your thing, I am going to have a blog, which I will put the link into the side somewhere along one of these things. I don't know which side it is. Obviously, it's not at the top, but it'll be around here somewhere. Um, and that will be like my online blog, obviously, my online book of shadows, so that you can actually read through some of my stuff. And I'll probably go into depth a bit more about certain subjects, and also post a bit more text from other places, something for a bit more in-depth reading, a bit more in-depth understanding if you actually want to go further in certain areas that I talk about or certain areas that we bring up. And it'll also be just another way of me shortening my videos and able to flick you off to other areas so that I don't have to talk forever, because I would get lost and never land. Very easy for me. Gemini, whoop whoop. That's what we do. Creative, airy fairy. So just like a little bit about myself, I was brought up in a very small town. We had like five churches, or five religions. Can't call them all churches. And I was brought up in Jehovah's Witness faith. I then moved into the city with my father, and from there, being a normal teenager at this now point in time, I then just rebelled and did my own thing, became a little vampiric goth, heavy metal. I like started looking into the occult and the darker side of stuff, and it just naturally came to me because I had an affinity already with Egyptian gods and goddesses from movies, from things that I've read, from pictures that I've seen. Like my library at school was like my best friend. I probably wasn't the most popular kid at school, but I loved the library. I loved reading. I loved pictures. I loved books. I just absorbed everything that I could get my hands onto. So I eventually wandered into the occult because of the music that I was listening to, and so I then started picking up more books and started picking up on pagan religion, Wiccan religion, and started probably not understanding, but definitely picking up an interest in it. It wasn't until I actually moved up to Auckland, the big smoke of New Zealand, that I actually bumped into two of the most influential people in my pagan walk of life. One was being I don't want to say evil, that's kind of bad, a dark witch who taught me the darker side of of magic and paganism. I wouldn't call her paganism because she was more of a cultural witch. She was more of a Maori witch, bad witch, a Maori witch, and that is like the Maori culture is the indigenous culture of New Zealand, and she herself was a Maori witch because that's what she was brought up in. So she had understood it a little bit more on her perspective from the Maori side. Yet she did do things that I would probably not agree with, and in a way that I would not agree with as well, because she was very did whatever she liked, however she liked. She did know that there were consequences, but she would most of the time still do them. And she did have a very dark hold over my life, dark and strong hold over my life. And I eventually got away from her and I ended up bumping into a white witch. Well, I would call her a white witch because she had so much life and energy. She really recharged me, and she really took away all of the dark energy and the dark stuff that was holding over my life. And so she taught me about crystals, she taught me about tarot, she taught me about gods and goddesses, she taught me about fairies, she taught me about energies, she taught me about magic. The dark one did teach me about energies and magic. She taught me probably more about the stronger, really deep magic, mainly because it was a cultural connection, but also the deeper, darker magic, like the dark side of the moon type magic. And that sounds like a song. Whereas, yeah, the White Witch probably gave me just a more balanced side to everything. She didn't just say, "This is power, here, take it." She kind of went, "This is power, but this is how you should use it in balance with your life, and how," oh, so you can see it, and how you can balance it with your own life and balance it with your own spirit and with your own path and with your own walk. And so I I learned a lot more from her, and she probably inspired me more to actually take a more day-to-day approach, because she's not a witch where in the morning she will cast a circle, and then before dinner she will do a ritual, and before she goes to sleep she'll cast a spell. I'm not saying that it's wrong, but I'm not saying that she did it in an everyday fashion, but she did embody it in her everyday life, and that's where I started picking it up from, and that's what I wanted to imbibe. Why do I have to think of big words? That's what I wanted to pass on. Better English. Pass on to anyone else that's actually looking into Wiccan, or looking into witchcraft, or looking into paganism, or looking into that path of their life, or that stage of their life, or looking to develop that in their life. So, oh, sorry, looking at my notes, I have got, though, this, which is my plan for 2013, and it's basically going to be a really in-depth immersion into Wiccan religion and all the pagan rituals and everything, so that if you are to start out, you can go through my channel, go through my videos, go through my blog, and really get an in-depth look. And if you're wanting to try and like immerse yourself into something for an entire year, which is what I'm going to do for 2013, is immerse myself into this and do everything kind of by the book, but also have my own spin on it, and also give you a way to understand how you can put your own spin on these things, or your own belief on things in this religion. Because I would call Wiccan a religion, because it is regularity, it is a specific way, whereas I would class myself more as a pagan, because I kind of do my own thing, basically, in layman's terms. So I will be going over quite a few different topics, and I'll post them all to my YouTube channel, and then I will go probably a little bit more in depth into each subject onto in my blog, which I will post the link to it at the bottom of every video, so that you can have another, like, if you want to look more into it, you can actually have some more reading material, have some more other sites that I could suggest for you to have a look into. Well, 9 minutes. And yeah, so then you can get better understanding, because I think the best thing that you can do in this path is absorb as much information. Even if you don't agree with it, read it so that you understand it, so that you know what it is that you don't agree with, or how specifically you don't agree, so that if somebody says, "Oh, why don't you believe in this?" or "Oh, why don't you do that?" you're actually going to have some sort of backing and basis. And so, yeah, I can't wait to start on this journey, and I hope that you all like and subscribe and follow and comment, and we can get a little bit of conversation going, because and in this little part of the world, paganism isn't that great of a thing. I'm not saying that there aren't them out there, but I would love to get in touch with a lot more, and yeah, hear some some other opinions and some other learnings, and be taught stuff and teach other stuff, because that's what life is all about. It really is. You've got to teach others. Um, but in saying that, I think that's actually all I wanted to say, and I hope that you will join me on my path. Peace to you all, and blessed be.